So it says we're live, so I'll sit here and talk to myself, which usually, it takes a few moments or so before anybody shows up, and then some people show up, and then we talk movies. So right now, I'm going to be talking to myself, waiting for it to do its thing and share my video and see if anybody shows up. So I'll give it a few seconds. I think it's a 5-minute rule that if nobody comes and nobody says, that's when I'll end this. So I'll give it a few minutes, and you'll see me sitting here, kind of talking to myself. And if you want to join, because it is a little bit easier when you get people to come in and talk. I can always rely on the people that I guess watch me on a regular. So thank you, Anthony. He's always here, talking movies. That's pretty much what all these lives, they end up, somehow revolving around some kind of movie or whatever. And I love it because, like I said, many times I can sit here and talk movies for hours. So as you can tell by the title of the video, kind of been on vacation for about 8 days now and haven't done much of anything. So now I'm here. Looster Star, love your content. Well, thank you very much. Try to do the best I can. It's one of those things where my intent isn't to it would be nice if I got to more people, but my whole thing is, if you don't know, I do a podcast as well. But my thing is to get as many lesser known movies out there to the public, because not only are, I think, most people looking for an alternative to the mainstream, especially now since not much is being made, but I try to do that as best as I can. I don't edit anything. You get my true and raw reviews and stuff. So I guess I can update it a little bit, but I don't really have that much time. Like I said, I'm on vacation this week, but usually I don't have that much time, so I'll just throw an honest review, and then hopefully people enjoy it and check out the movies. That's my main goal, is to get people to check out the movies. So if you didn't know, we do a podcast, Wicked Horror Show, every Tuesday night, where we talk to indie actors, actresses, directors, and so on and so forth. I just bought the Christmas Chronicles 1 and 2 from Stinky Tuna. I got to go back on that website. I haven't checked it out in a while. Last time I did anything, I bought the Babysitter, the second Babysitter, Killer Queen, and I bought a few other things. So if you're looking for, if you see a movie on Netflix and you want a release of it, because not a lot of times Netflix put out their movies besides, Stranger Things, which I'm waiting for season 3. But if you're looking for movies like that, go to stinkytuna.com, and they have a lot of the stuff on Blu-ray and DVD. I bought, and the other thing was the Star Wars Holiday Special. So I do got to check that out. Been watching a lot of Christmas movies since November. I'm always watching horror movies, but 'tis the season. The other day I watched the Home Alone movies. I watched Scrooge. I have the whole. I got probably about 10 movies that I'll sit down and watch religiously every Christmas. Elf is definitely up there. Like I said, the Home Alone movies. What else is up there? Die Hard. Die Hard is, not a lot of people. Well, I think more people agree that Die Hard is. The first Die Hard, at least, is a Christmas movie, so I'll watch Die Hard. Ernest Saves Christmas. There's a whole bunch, up there that, every Christmas season I'll sit down and watch. So, 'tis the season, should I say. But there's a lot of movies, a lot of horror movies that people might not know about. I posted it on my Instagram, but I bought the Stranger Things season 3 on DVD if it's only on DVD, that would suck. But Lethal Weapon, I didn't like Lethal Weapon as much as Die Hard. I don't know. I mean, you can, I guess, be a fan of both series, but I think it's either one or the other. And me myself, I'm more of a Die Hard fan myself. Like I said, the Lethal Weapon isn't bad, but if I had to choose between the two, it would be Die Hard. Except, as they got along, Live Free and Die Hard. Then they got too actiony. With action movies, you get the same exact thing. Nowadays, it's literally like, okay, someone got killed. I'm gonna go after you. You stole someone from me. Kidnapped someone. I'm going after you. It's too much of the same thing kind of deal. So action movies I kind of steer away from. But they're both Xmas movies. Yeah, like I said. But if I had to choose, it's Die Hard. But speaking of movies, I just got done watching this one. If you haven't seen it, Spree. Interesting one. It's got Joe Keery, speaking of Stranger Things. Joe Keery from that. It's got David Arquette. Got a whole bunch of people. But this right here is like social media kind of deal as I'm going live on social media. But if you haven't seen that one, it's about this kid that's like obsessed with I guess it's kind of like a TikTok kind of deal where he does all these crazy things and then he ends up becoming a spree driver, which is like an Uber driver kind of deal. And then he tries all these crazy things to get viewership and all that stuff. If you're just, it's not like your typical horror. It's more of a thriller type deal. It has, a few horror aspects to it, I guess. But it's more of a thriller. But if you're interested, if you're looking for movies to watch, I'd say go ahead and check that one out. That was a great movie, Spree. Yeah, I saw a picture of it. There was one guy on Instagram doing kind of like the best of 2020 horror films, and there was some. Most of them I knew, but the certain pictures on there that I'm like, I've never even heard of this movie. So that's another way I find my movies, I guess you want to call it, is either through Instagram or finding stuff out myself or the podcast. But I saw a picture and I'm like, oh, I know that kid. And then I looked up the synopsis and the plot line and stuff. And definitely, like I said, if you haven't, check out Spree. This is one. So I don't know if you guys can see it. It's backwards on my end, but I don't know how this whole live thing works. But Spree. And then the other one I picked up today was a Scream Factory release. And it was, all right. It kind of like a slow burn kind of deal, but when certain scenes hit, they hit. But it's called Relic, and it's a IFC Midnight. Can't go wrong with that. A lot of the recent releases, like the new releases from Scream Factory, have been like IFC Midnight kind of deal. So, no, it's not backwards. Oh, on my side, I guess my camera's flipped. But yeah, it's what anyway. Relic. I'd say you guys should check this one out. What's another movie I recently got that I think you guys should check out? There was a few that I picked up. Now, sometimes when you watch way too many, I did a review for. Now, where the hell is it? Did I even put it in here? Where the hell I put it? Anyway, I did a review for a movie from Artsploitation Films. They send me films over to watch, and it's called Beast. What the hell is the movie called? I can't even think of it. I did a review for it a couple days ago. Beasts After Something. It's not really a horror film. It's more of a crime thriller type deal. Where it's all in Taiwanese, or South Korean, should I say. It is a film where you have to read subtitles. So if you're not into subtitles, there's some that you can just switch the language and they're, dubbing over it. This one doesn't have that. But it's an interesting story about, people that are greedy, and it goes, this one bag has a whole bunch of money in it. It goes from, person to person, hiding the stuff, and random people find it, and you check out my review for it so you can understand it more. But it was definitely an interesting one. I got a whole bunch of other ones coming in. The Rental, I think the movie's called. That one I saw, high hopes for, or a lot of people talk about it. So I'm having that one come in the mail tomorrow, I believe. I ordered it off Amazon. But I got a whole bunch of stuff coming in from Vinegar Syndrome and Severn that I ordered from Black Friday. Severn stuff supposedly already shipped. And then Vinegar Syndrome, I got an email today saying that be patient. They're kind of falling behind with orders. So they sent a $5 credit or code for $5 off the next order. So if you order stuff from Vinegar Syndrome for Black Friday, then kind of be patient is what it says. It says be patient, get $5 off or whatever. But if you order that, a little heads up. I don't know if you guys got the same email that I did. But can't wait for your unboxing. Yeah, those are, always fun times because sometimes certain orders take too long and then I kind of forget what I ordered. Vinegar Syndrome, I already did kind of forget what I ordered. But I know Severn, I ordered like Cruel Jaws and stuff like that. I got a few other titles coming from that, but that'll be either next week or with Vinegar Syndrome. They said it could take up to a month. So, I guess better late than never. It's not like I have, not enough to watch. So, hopefully it comes sooner than later. Hopefully it comes before Christmas and stuff. But look forward to that. What else? What else? I got a few other reviews up there. I did a review for it's like 9-minute long episodes. It's called A Roommate, where it's this one girl. She plays two characters, kind of like living in, I believe it's in LA. They kind of just became roommates, kind of different. Like Jersey, it's like you kind of move in with the people I guess in the cities, probably New York or LA or something like that. Big cities, you get people that just rent the same apartment and become roommates and have no idea who the person is and whatever. So anyway, they're like minute shorts that it's just her doing different things, I guess you want to call it. Like one, she was talking about an ex-boyfriend. One of the roommates is a actress and she's trying to find gigs and all that stuff. So it's very short. It's literally a minute each, and I think there's 9 episodes. So if you're looking for, a short watch, almost like not Tubi, what's that one thing called? Where it's like shorts. It's like an app with like 10-minute shorts or something like that. I can't even think of it. I signed up for it and I don't even know what the hell it's called. But if you're looking for that, look up Roommates. And like I said, it's on YouTube. What else did I review? A few documentaries. One was What's Going On, Scott Miller. Hopefully I said Millar. I almost said Miller, but it's Millar. I'm doing all right. I can't complain. How are you? Right now, bored. I've been on vacation from work for the past 8 days and really haven't done much of anything. So I'm like, why not come online and see if people are interested for a nice live video. So for those of you who are new, if you haven't already, check out my other stuff. I mean, most of you that come in here support me all the time, which I appreciate. But my channel is pretty much movie talk. If you couldn't tell from the picture behind me, I am a movie buff through and through, mostly horror. So if you're interested and if you're looking for new movies to watch, check out my channel. But live videos, we pretty much talk about anything movie related, to tell you the truth. It boils down to. So if you're interested in that, we were talking about Spree. If you guys haven't seen Spree yet, very interesting film. And then The Relic, or just Relic, should I say, a Scream Factory release. So 2 movies that if you're looking to watch, I have a Dollar Tree. I have like 2 within, maybe 10 minutes of my house. But a lot of the times they have movies that I already own, and I'm not the one to double dip. If it's a movie that I want to upgrade or something like that, I'll end up going and looking. But most of the time, I'm not a Dollar Tree person. Um, I'm good, and you were correct. I am Scottish, living in Cundiff, South Wales, and I'm a collector too. Oh, well, look at that. I don't know what time it is by you, so might be later, might be earlier. I don't know, but that's dedication because I know a lot of the times, like different time. I've had people on here at like their time. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that, and I'm like, why the hell are you watching me? But I appreciate anybody that comes and joins and enjoys and 118. So I mean, it's late, but it's not. Is that AM or PM? I'm guessing it's PM or AM, should I say? But I appreciate everybody that comes because, like I said, the only thing I do this for is to promote, movies out there, movies that maybe you never heard of and stuff. Yeah, I was gonna guess AM, but I appreciate you guys coming in. Hopefully, like I said, my content. Some people like it, some people don't. I'll get thumbs up and thumbs down and stuff like that. And the only thing I could say is I'm talking movies. So if you either don't like my review or don't like the way I look, don't like the way I talk or something like that, I guess that's what people might not like about it. But all I'm doing is talking movies and trying to spread the word of stuff that you guys should check out and watch and stuff like that. I should change it up. I got a few ideas in my head, but this is always fun. I thank you, Andy, and it's like I some people enjoy, like I myself enjoy finding new movies that I never heard of. That it's few and far between because I'll go and I'll either search it on Instagram or something like that. Great content, keep it up, mate. Well, thank you very much. I'll do my best. Like I said, I can't say I'm the most entertaining, but I think I'm entertaining enough, I guess. I try to, add some kind of spin to my reviews, my own little flair to it, I guess. But I try. And like I said, I try to do, every once in a while I'm putting out stuff. Like I got this guy right here, if you haven't seen it, the unboxing for the Peanuts 70th anniversary 3-movie set. If you couldn't tell, I'm a movie addict as well. It's sometimes it's good and sometimes it isn't. I'll walk into my room and I'm like, this is my collection. And then sometimes I walk in my room and I'm like, this is my collection. It's like, I could have spent the money on, more stuff, different things or whatever. But to tell you the truth, when I walk into my room, I know where my money is. It's staring me right in the face. Sometimes it's, thank you very much. Oh, this one. I thought you were talking about my collection, but this collection is really cool. 3-movie set right now. I believe it's still on sale if you're looking for it. Usually it's like $100. But right now on Amazon, or as of 2 days ago on Amazon, it was $39.99. So if you're into that, I think you were talking more about the peanut set, but I'll take both because but it's one of those things too. In the beginning, when I first started collecting, I was getting like everything and anything, which, to tell you the truth, now it's almost the exact same. But I would go even crazier. Like I'd get every movie that came out on, New Movie Tuesday, Blu-ray Tuesday, whatever you want to call it. I would get literally every movie that came out. And then one of my buddies that was on the Wicked Horror Show, my podcast that I do, the 13th Wolfman, he's like, listen, dude, you should just wait till Black Friday and then get everything that, all the normal titles, I guess you want to call it, not boutique stuff. Just wait till Black Fridays and get all your movies then. And then I did that. And this year was a little bit different with Black Friday, but I did pick up some. I still rent movies from the library. Can't say I do that. Our library has some, but again, most of the stuff, like you were saying, Dollar Tree, but most of the stuff, it's either stuff I already have, or they have nothing that fits my criteria, I guess. Not even criteria, but with horror movies, what's going on, Nick B? Hey Tony, do you have Silent Night, Deadly Night? I don't have the original, if that's what you're talking about. I do have Silent Night, which is the whole remake with what the hell's her name in it? Not Shannon Elizabeth. What the hell's her name? Courtney Palm. Courtney Palm's in it. I do have like I said, the remake. I guess what it is. Waiting to see the new James Bond and the new Dune. Dune, I'm interested in. James Bond, to tell you the truth, I know a lot of people enjoy it. I just never got into I have the whole James Bond set up there just because I'm a collector and I'll get stuff that I might not even really care about. But with the James Bond series, I don't know, they all kind of meshed into the same kind. That's why I said if I'm going to choose a genre, my favorite one is horror, and then like coming of age and stuff like that is my forte, is the ones I like the most. But then action movies, I watch them, but it's not like too many of them are almost the exact same cookie cutter kind of deal where it's like, oh, I'll tell you a plot. Now, what movie is that? And it could be 5 different ones kind of deal. But then you could say that about, horror and stuff. How big is your collection? Right now, I think between this is all my Blu-rays. But then if you go around here, I got movies over there. I got stuff all over in my closet. I got some so Blu-rays. I got about like 3,000, and then DVDs, which I took out of my room. I got about 4,000. So probably about 7,000 movies. I'd say roughly in my collection over the years. I think 16 years now, 17 years I've been collecting ever since I was in like high school. So it's about like 7,000, I'd say. Horror comedy for me. Horror comedies, I love when you get the meshing of genres, I guess you want to call it. So it's all over the place kind of deal where it's not just the same monotony of everything. Like I like, horror movies with comedic breaks, I guess you want to call it, or even like action movies, like comedy action movies kind of deal, like the Police Academy movies or something like that, where it's not just one strictly one style of movie, I guess you want to call it. So that's definitely anything that meshes a few different genres I like a lot more than your just straight besides horror. I mean, you can't beat slashers where it's just every 5 seconds, 80s cheese slashers where the guts and stuff is coming out and all that stuff. But I love the Naked Gun trilogy. I mean, Leslie Nielsen was definitely one of those comedians or comedic actors that I definitely loved. But then you have his serious stuff like the Poseidon Adventure and stuff like that. But with like Leslie Nielsen, Mel Brooks, even though he's more of a director than an actor, but anything Mel Brooks, some of my favorite comedians are, Chris Farley and Dan Candy, John Candy and Dan Aykroyd, stuff like people like that where, they're bigger comedians. Like, well, John Candy and Chris Farley were both, fat guys like myself. But, larger than life, I guess you want to call it. Forbidden Planet. Mm-hmm. So a lot of it, like I said, with Leslie Nielsen, I found him more later in life, Surf Ninjas and stuff like that. So I saw more of his stuff. Holy crap, I've been collecting sort of the same time, 7,500. Yep, I don't have one genre either, or one favorite film. There's too many to choose from. That's another thing too. When I'm like, I don't know what movie to watch, and then people are like, oh, you have like 10,000 or whatever, so many of them, and I'm like, it makes it even harder. If I had 5 movies, it'd probably be that much easier to be like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna just pick one out and sit down and watch it. But having too many, I guess, It's like, I'll pull one out, and I'm like, I don't want to watch that one. Put it back, find another one, pull it out, and then it's like, it's tough, I must say. Even though I have, enough at my side or right next to me, but sometimes it's a little bit more difficult. But the other thing that I've been doing more now than anything is looking for more because I don't buy as much, especially now where not a lot of stuff is coming out Tuesdays either, because movies are just not getting made. So they'll put out, a different version of a movie that's come out 500 times already. What I'll do is I'll look for more, out of print or rarer stuff. Not a huge steelbook fan, but I see myself collecting more steelbooks now. But there was a whole collection. I think I showed it off last time, but I'll show it off now. But it was these steelbooks that they put out for Halloween that I could have bought for like $15. And I was pissed because I went to Best Buy and it was supposed to be $9.99. Went there, they had the whole sign up, $9.99. I brought all of them up to the freaking to the register, and they're like, nope, it's $14.99. And I'm like, but your sign said, I work in retail, and usually it's whatever, if it's negligence or whatever the sign says, you get it for kind of deal. And I'm like, whatever. So I kind of left them there, and then I see now they're all going for like $50. I like multi-packs, saves space or collections on my shelf. That's the one thing too. The one thing is space, but sometimes now I'll go for look. So a lot of the times with like multi-packs, they don't look as good. Just a regular. I definitely understand the whole spacing thing, because as you can see, I'm stacking stuff on top and things all over. My steel books are, hanging out. But nowadays I'd rather, I don't know, it's the old school, going to Blockbuster, picking up a movie, looking at the, the cover of it, and reading the description and stuff like that. So look is more important to me, I guess you want to call it. But if I can save a whole bunch of money on, a multi-pack, I'll do it. Like the other day, I bought the American Pie movies, even though I already had them on single disc. I'm like, whatever. They had the 4-movie disc, and then I bought all the, straight to Blu-ray, or at the time, straight to DVD movies, like what do you call it? Bandcamp and The Naked Mile and Book of Love and stuff like that. I miss movie stores. Yeah. Still in the back of my head, I have the whole, I know it's going to be tough, especially now. I have so many movies. Why not just open up my own, movie store and stuff like that? And it's one of those deals where in the back of my head, I have that. Have you seen Mandy with Nicolas Cage? Watched it last night. Pretty weird. If I just go over here, and I got it over here. I just redid my whole collection. But it's one of those things where certain movies, like everybody loves Mandy, it's a little too off for me, to tell you the truth. It's a little out there, more than normal Nicolas Cage. But just the colors, it's too trippy for me. The one I did enjoy with him in it is Mom and Dad. I think I mentioned it on one of the other ones, but Mom and Dad I actually enjoyed. My collection is everywhere: 2 boxes, shelf, floors. Yep, it's kind of sad. I got stuff under my bed. I bought these totes, and then I got stuff in my closet. And like I said, my DVDs are in my garage and stuff. So a little all over the place, but it's color space is nuts too. Yep, that's another one. But like I said, out of all the Nicolas Cage movies that came out, his resurgence, or should I say, I'll put that back later. But out of all of them, like I said, I think Mom and Dad is the one I like the most. Definitely a different style. It's where the parents are now trying to kill. Something comes over the parents, and they go and try to kill their kids. So that one I enjoyed more because it's more, some of the movies that people really enjoy are a little either, trippy for me. The movie Climax that came out from A24 Films. Um, Visually, it's really cool looking, but the whole plot is like all over the place where a bunch of people are in like a abandoned warehouse that they're practicing this new dance move or recital or whatever they're doing, and then someone brings drugs into the whole thing, and then everybody starts tripping, and it's like, I can see why some people enjoy it, I guess, but it's definitely not, my style. Like some of the other ones that people enjoy, like Hereditary, not really. I liked Midsummer more than I liked Hereditary, but those movies never. The Witch, another one. Some people like different things, and those movies are definitely not, my forte. Like Anthony was saying, he enjoys horror comedies. So you're catching me watching like Tucker and Dale versus Evil, or Bad Milo, or Rubber, or Greasy Strangler, or just random movies out there. A lot of the independent stuff that we have on. There's check out a movie called The Special. That one's pretty interesting. It has a thing in a box, I guess you want to call it, where this guy goes to this whorehouse, and he asks for this special, and they have this box, and pretty much he puts his dick in it, and let's just say whatever's in there, he kind of falls for, and it's a very interesting movie. The Burbs is a classic Tom Hanks. Yep, The Stuff. Can't go wrong with the freaking. I mean, they did it perfectly where they have that freaking container of the stuff and kind of looks like yogurt or ice cream or whatever the hell it is. I'm waiting on the original Blob for my collection, but it's hard to find for the right price. The Twilight Times one, or are we talking like the 1950s? When did the first one come out? Because I know they had one, in the 50s, one in the 70s, one in the 80s kind of deal. But there's a lot of stuff that, like I said, I go on eBay more than I ever did before. I got the stuff, great film. Yeah, it's like I said, I mean, 80s cheese. I mean, when you go into it, you got to realize that half the stuff is, isn't made to be, a cinematic, genius of a movie kind of deal. They didn't put it out there for awards, but it's just one of those. All right. But it's one of those things where it's like it's entertainment. And then there's some people too, like, I just don't understand it, where people are like, oh, I hate this movie. It wasn't serious and all that. It's like, come on, you gotta. I don't mind every once in a while sitting down and watching a very serious movie or something like that. I'd rather sit down and watch something that'll make me laugh, or something that'll get me out of whatever mindset I'm in at that point. That's what I use movies for. I don't need to sit there every single time and watch something that's an award-winning classic kind of deal. Like, I understand it, every once in a while, I don't mind watching something that's, a beautiful cinematic masterpiece kind of deal, but I don't need that all the time. I love sitting there watching some kind of, slasher, gore fest kind of deal, because, sometimes that's what I want to watch. But then there's too many people out there, that these critics, or whatever you want to call them, when they go on like IMDb and they just like, just rip on certain movies. And it's like, one, did you even watch the movie to rip on it? And two, it's like, love cult films, indie films. Yeah, that's another thing with these indie films too. A lot of the times you're finding stuff you never heard of before. The Invitation was an awesome cult movie. Is that, I think I have it over there. It's a cult what the hell, Draft House film. If I'm that's the one I'm thinking of. Still haven't sat down to watch it, but it's one of those things, like I was saying before. Nowadays it's just sitting down with indie filmmakers. You learn so much. I used to look at movies a whole different way before I did my podcast. My wife likes B movies, and I'm not a fan of them. Yeah, like I said, sometimes you gotta. When first started watching movies, I watch them a lot different than I do now. But it's one of those things where um, you you know, I would watch a movie, and if they didn't have a budget for, good lighting or good sound, or, even if the acting was a little bit off, I'd shit on the movie. But now doing a podcast, you learn so much that, sometimes it's out of the director's hands and stuff. And it's like, come on, like, you have to, sit down and think, well, you know, it's 10 times better than I did because I myself never made a movie. So it's one of those things where, what these big budget movies have, they have, months to make. A lot of these independent movies, they'll have a week to make it. And then out of that week, let's just say on location, it rains 2 or 3 days out of it. So now instead of having 7 days to make the movie, you have 4 days to make the movie, and then you got to rush it a little bit. And then, sometimes these movies that they give to these other, distribution companies isn't the movie that was supposed to be made. They want to get their movie out there, so they'll give it to, some kind of studio. And then, so a lot of the times too, these B movies, these lower budget movies, unless they make it themselves and put it out by their own, their own logo or something like that, because there are companies out there that put out their own kind of stuff, then you could say, okay, you do a little bit, try a little bit harder. But a lot of the times, they're putting out these movies, they're trying, and then the distribution, they're like, well, we want certain amount of this, certain amount of this, certain amount of this, and if you don't follow this criteria, we're not putting out your movie, kind of deal. So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't, kind of deal. Because of course, any filmmaker wants to have their film seen. That's what you want to do. But sometimes if you want to, it's tough. If you listen to everything critics say, I would have missed out on that. Well, I mean, look at freaking like IMDb, not even IMDb, like Rotten Tomatoes. Some of the critic scores, were 10%. And it's one of the great, like Home Alone, I think has a 20% Rotten Tomato score. And it's like, I think, Home Alone is one of those movies that everybody could watch any given time. And it's a Christmas classic and stuff like that. But on Rotten Tomatoes, you get a 20 because it doesn't fit. Oh, well, this wasn't perfect. And then it's like, I never listen to any, I'll watch the movie and then I'll see what the critics say about it. Tony, what year was the special movie we're talking about made? This year, actually, was it this year? Either 2019 or 2020. It's directed by Harrison Smith, who did Zombie Killer's Elephant Graveyard. He did, I can't even think what the hell, the one with a whole bunch of people in it. Death House. He did Death House. So he's part of our podcast network, but a whole bunch of, we actually had Dave Sheridan, who played Doofy in if you've seen Scary Movie, the original one, Doofy, they did Dewey's character, but like he was mentally handicapped. Dave Sheridan's in it. We had him on our podcast. Nowadays it's very simple on the internet to sit down and judge and say whatever the hell you want because you're a keyboard warrior. More power to you, but whatever. I mean, some people, why don't you like this movie? Because I don't like the movie. Yeah, why don't you like the movie? Oh, because it sucks. Well, if you can tell me why it sucks, then I'll believe what or understand what you're saying or your criticism is a little bit more. But nowadays, too many people, have the goal to just say whatever they want. They're having a bad day, let me go on and make fun of or whatever. That's like YouTube. I'll make a video and get wonderful comments, and then I'll get people, oh, you suck. Oh, why? Tell me why. Give me criticism. Only way people grow is if you get creative criticism. Okay, you did this wrong, or you did that wrong, or you should do this more, or do that more. And it's like, come on now. Like, if you have no Seth T915, what's going on? How are you? I lost my train of, but like I was saying, too many people nowadays are just, think they could say whatever they want at any given time because there's no consequences. You can go on anything and just say whatever. And nowadays, people take it for, as gospel, I guess you want to call it. You go, like I said, go on Rotten Tomatoes and just look up some of your favorite movies, your favorite movie, and I'm sure, a lot of these critics or especially the people that get paid to do it probably have a 20% or something like that. And then there's other movies that you think are garbage that the critic rating is 95% and the audience rating is 20% or something like that. So a lot of these critics, like I said, I'll sit down, I'll watch the movie and then, look it up. So, but yeah, it's the way of the world, now, you put out stuff and people, like I said, can say whatever they want to at any given time. And you just got to realize, it's going to happen. Another thing that was one of my personal favorites, probably a month and a half ago now. Time flies when you're having fun. But we had Andre Gower from the Monster Squad. He put out a documentary called Wolfman's Got Nards, which is a Monster Squad documentary. But it's one of those things where it's more for the fans, I guess you want to call it. It's how they made it a cult classic. So it wasn't really too much behind the scenes of Monster Squad. It was more for the fans. So people were crapping on that. They're like, oh, we want behind the scenes kind of deal, which you can't do because I forget what company owns the rights to the movie right now. So they're not giving out the stuff for, cheap. So it's more, they went to different cons and festivals and stuff like that. And they kind of found the fans' reactions. And it's one of those things where there's people like they had Adam Green talking. And that was one of the movies that got him started in his directing career. For those of you who don't know, Adam Green, he did the Hatchet series. He did Frozen. He did Holliston. He did what else? Chilloramas in his forte. He's did a whole bunch of stuff. Thoughts on The Tenant? Haven't seen it, to tell you the truth. Like I said, a lot of these big films, unless I pick it up for cheap, I go more independent, to tell you the truth. A lot of the boutique titles. Like I said, Scream Factory, when Scream Factory puts out new films, I'll get that. Vinegar Syndrome, they're putting out older 80s stuff, so I'll get that. But Artsploitation Films is one that puts out a whole bunch of, indie film. Epic Pictures, they have Dread Central. They put out, here's one, for those of you who, because I know, I don't want to say I know, but, I think sometimes movie fans are also wrestling fans. So if you're looking for a cool documentary, it's called The Nail in the Coffin, The Rise and Fall of Vampiro. So this is the fall and rise of Vampiro. I said it backwards. It's the fall and rise. But it's one of those things where if you're wrestling fan and you know who Vampiro is, it's this whole after wrestling career, I guess you want to call it. Same, but I like to test myself now and again. Yeah, like I said, I'll watch some when I find a movie for cheap enough. A lot of the times independent films you're getting them for $12.99 as opposed to the $19.99, $20.99, whatever you want to call it. 4Ks are now $25.99. But if I can find a movie cheap enough that I'm like, I'll try it out. But a lot of the times, like I said, a lot of the bigger studios, Universal and stuff like that, just they don't put out anything that I'm like, oh, I got to go out and see. But there's a lot of the times there's trailers and I'm like, oh, who put it out? Okay, it's Uncorked, or it's Scream Factory, Shout Factory, stuff like that. So a lot of the times I find myself just going and picking up more indie titles. A24 is another one that anytime they put out a film, I'll go and pick that up. Those are more, on the cheaper side, $12.99, stuff like that. But that's when it just comes down to, certain ones. It's like, okay, I have the collection, I got to continue the collection. But A24, they just put out so much good stuff. Kino Lorber, yep, that's one. If you look here, that's all Kino stuff. But Kino Lorber is another one. Don't see the point to in 4K personally. I'm sticking with DVD and Blu-rays. Me myself, I moved from a couple reasons. I moved from DVD to Blu-ray. Blu-ray, I'm always a special feature person, and it seems like Blu-ray puts. I haven't bought many DVDs recently, but I know a lot of the times DVD or Blu-rays put a little bit more in the special features category. So I'll get that. With Blu-rays, they're a little smaller, so you could fit a little bit more. Space is another reason. And then just overall look. I was talking about, cover art and stuff like that. A lot of the times, Blu-rays will have a little bit more of a look to them that I enjoy. Some of the times, DVDs that just look, I don't know, but I don't want 4K. The only 4Ks that I've gotten are, if it's a steelbook that I enjoy or I like, and it's the 4K, because of course, the way they get collectors, crazy collectors like myself, to have a steelbook of the regular one, a 4K one, a special edition and stuff like that. And it's like, it's kind of like, I kind of like them all. Do I get them all? And that's the collectors, side of me. Like, perfect example, the monster movies, the the old school black and white Universal monsters. I have the steelbooks. I got the one cover art for the cover, like the covers, and then I had the glow in the dark ones that I'm like, same freaking movie 3 times, but it's different cover art. Nowadays some people are like, oh, what's with the slip covers and stuff? I don't want to say a fiend, but it's one of those things where if I can find a cool like slip cover and stuff like that, I'll go for that. They are the best ones. So yeah, it's like I said, it's the collectors. Like, I'll show you this. Ready? Where is it? All right, so like I said, certain movies, most of the time I will never double dip. But then, like I said, recently I've been doing the whole, finding rare and out of print stuff. I have Jennifer's Body somewhere around here. But then they had this one, Jennifer's Body, the steelbook. These were the steelbooks that I was talking about. With the cool cover art and stuff like that, which I could have gotten for $15, but I spent $40 on this thing. And I'm lucky I spent $40 because this thing's going for like, $50 to $60 on eBay. And the one time I found it, I'm like, yeah, let me get it. And then, of course, then they have another one from overseas that I'm like, this one looks, pretty cool. And the only reason I got it is because Megan Fox is on the cover. And I'm like, this is another one I've been eyeing for the longest time. So then I got this. Never going to open it. But it's a Jennifer's Body from, I don't even know where this one is. But like I said, then they put out so many different, cover arts and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to do it, but I do. I love the old Vincent Price movies too. Yeah, back then when, CGI and the cameras that we have now weren't available to people, you had to rely on your acting. You had to rely on, the visuals and stuff, which you did have, which makes those movies 10 times better because, they kept your, what do you want to call it? They kept your interest with little to nothing, I guess you want to call it. I love the old giant monster movies from the 50s and 60s, like the old Godzilla and Mothra and Gamera and all that stuff. I got into Godzilla and King Kong later in life, I guess you want to call it. I mean, my first one was, I think I saw King Kong Lives before I saw King Kong. I could be wrong, but I know it was around the same times when I saw King Kong Lives, and I was like, oh yeah, he had a kid and all this stuff, and like because that one wasn't as released, I guess you want to call it, as the original King Kong. Well, not the original King Kong, the '80s King Kong. But I remember seeing that, and I'm like, yeah, at the end he has a kid and all this stuff, and people are like, the hell are you talking about? But King Kong Lives, I think I saw before King Kong's. But I can't get over the prices for this. These are steel books, so it's like one of those special editions, I guess you want to call it. But sometimes it's just certain, like you look at Screen Factories. If you go and there's certain slip covers that people take and throw away, that certain slip covers are limited, so you can get a slip cover for people are selling them for $20-$30 for just a slip cover, not the movie, nothing else, but it's just the slip cover that's $20 or $30. So if you have some, you look it up and you look or have some rare ones and you're not a slipcover person, you can make some money because people literally will just buy the slipcover. Yeah, it's certain people have different thoughts and stuff. I mean, everybody's their own kind of collector. Everybody likes certain things, so I can't hate on them. Like I said, there's certain ones that I'm lucky I kept. I mean, I don't throw them out anyway, but some of them it's just like, oh, that one's going for that much money. I'm like, I do have this, but I'm not touching it. But certain people like certain things mint. Sometimes if it's not bubble wrapped, and not bubble wrapped, but sealed, people aren't going to buy it. So it's one of those things where to each his own, I guess you want to call it. So I'm not hating on anybody. But if you have some slips that you don't like, Anthony, and you have certain movies, I'll take them off your hands for you. But yeah, it's just one of those things where everybody's their own collector. Everybody collects differently. I have mine in alphabetical order and stuff. I buy a lot of things used. Yeah, save money that way, to tell you the truth. I myself really, I mean, besides eBay, I used to like when I first started collecting, it was old DVDs. I used to go to my job was literally right across the street from a Blockbuster. So back then it used to be the 4 for $20 deal. So every Friday I would go. My bank was right down the street from Blockbuster, so I go to my bank, then go to Blockbuster, and then buy 4 to 8 movies depending on if I could find them, and it'd be $20 to $40. So as opposed to buying a brand new one for $25, I'd get 8 movies for almost the same price. So if it comes down to with a slip, then it is. But if it doesn't, then yeah, like I said, it's not an end all be all kind of thing. But I'd rather have a slip myself. But some people are like way too into it, too much. Most of mine are secondhand. I remember those days. Yep. Like I said, that's my downfall, I guess you want to call it. You can look at it both ways. But with my collecting, that's what started the whole thing. It was like, yeah, I'm getting all these, random movies too. A lot of the National Lampoons, random different movies, stuff like that. But yeah, that was the start of my collecting. Was the old Blockbuster days of 4 for $20s and stuff. I loved Hollywood videos. I had a Hollywood video for like a year, and it kind of left. You never buy DVDs anymore? Nah, I can't say. If it comes down to it, and I want to support, one of the people that were on the podcast that I do, I'll get the DVD. But if I had the choice, I'd rather get Blu-rays, just because, like I said, space, and it's just all my DVDs are in my garage. So I miss the old Blockbuster. That's what it was. I mean, you go Friday nights, walk in there. My whole thing is the picking up the thing, physically holding it and stuff. I don't mind Netflix because it has some documentaries and stuff. But it's one of those things where I'd rather have the physical copy in my hand, pick it up, look at it, open it, read the description and stuff like that. It's more of the fixation, I guess you want to call it, rather than, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I can see why people don't mind digital because it's so much easier. You don't have to leave the comfort of your own home. You don't have to do much. You just take your remote and change a thing. But you know, it's you know, it's just a feeling. It's, I don't know. But yeah, with the Blockbuster thing, it's like being able to go, and then the candy and just the feel. You see different people, you know, checking out different things. So I always liked it. My Best Buy is around. Yeah, the one Best Buy is bigger and it has a decent sized movie section. But the other one, literally the other day I walked in, there was almost completely empty. Just doesn't seem like they're, you know, stocking it anymore. It went down from like 4 rows to like 3 rows. Now it's down to, you know, 2.5, if that, and it's not even like full. So it's like it's disheartening to see. But again, like I said, a lot of the movies that I do get, it's either from Amazon or eBay or directly from one of the boutique titles. So Walmart is the place to be. Well, even though Walmart by me, it definitely shrunk its section. I noticed. Target is another one. I walked in for Black Friday. I walked into all three, Best Buy, Walmart, and whatever. And I guess since they had sales for the entire week, didn't really have much of anything. But it was one of those things where, I'm like, yeah, let me just go check it. And there was literally like nothing. And everyone, it's disheartening. And I'm like, yeah. But our fees are good. And they have 50 pack for that one. I don't know exactly the difference between $1 and £1. But shelves, I always leave a huge, it's one of those things where the other thing when I collected the DVDs, that's the one plus, I guess, is a lot of the times the DVDs were a lot cheaper. So I'd walk into the Walmart, go into the $5 bin, and I'd have those multi-pack horror movies where it's like 4 movies, 8 movies, 10 movies, 20 movies, something like that for $5. So, if I got one good one out of it, it was like I spent, $5 on one good movie. So I have stacks upon stacks of those multi-pack things. So that was one thing with the DVDs and stuff where it was like, you could find a bunch of movies for a lot cheaper. But if you check out my, original content, maybe not original, but, I used to swear off Blu-rays. I was like, the one thing you'll catch me here, I'm not going to go into the 4K craze. So that I'll promote here. But in the beginning, I was like, why do you need, certain movies? I can understand having higher quality to check out, but I don't need it for every single movie. But then it came down to a lot of the movies, like I was saying before, with the special features, with just the overall look of it, with the whole bunch of stuff. I went from DVD to Blu-ray. But like I said in the beginning, I was like, I don't need Blu-rays. I don't need that. And as you can see, I think it was like a $7 one where it wasn't even a bin. It was a bin, to tell you the truth. That was one where it was like $5.99 to like $10.99 or something like that I used to go in there too every once in a while. They do at that point in time too with the Blu-rays. They had the 3 movie set, and they would come with the digital code. And in the beginning, I was giving away the digital codes, and then I found out that some people buy them. So I'm like, yeah, why not? I'm not selling them for much, but if I can get a few bucks back off my purchase, I'm not using them. So why not, sell them? And at that point in time, I remember the one Black Friday, I kind of strategized it. I think strategize is the word, but pretty much what happened is I literally bought everything with a code, and I sold all the codes. So I think I spent like $150 on the movies, and I sold the codes for like $152. So I think I made a $2 profit on the movies and got them all for free. So I don't use the digital codes. I give them to my friends. Like I said in the beginning, that's what I was doing too. But if I can make some money back off my purchase and my addiction, I'll do it. But since it is past the hour, I haven't really done much of anything as to give back to you guys. So I had it planned in my head. We only have sex and HMVs without going to the stores like Texaco. Yeah, those we don't have over here. So I'm guessing those are your like Walmarts and Best Buys and stuff like that, or FYEs or something like that. But like I said, I do have a couple things that I always wanted to give away on my like Instagram or something like that. But since I'm here, since I'm live, let me know on here who actually uses digital codes, and I got a few that I'll give away here because some just I've had for forever and I got to get rid of them. So if you use a digital code and you're sitting here, like I said, you've been here for an hour, so I got to give you guys credit for keeping me, entertained and stuff like that. But if you use them, let me know, and I'll write your name down, and I'll kind of find some way to give it away, I guess. I know Anthony says he doesn't use them, so and Scott, I don't know if unless you use one of those. Nope, prefer yeah. Like I said, I'm a physical media guy through and through. So, but there are people that kind of do both. Like what I used to do is I'll buy the since they have like HD and SD kind of deal, which is like DVD quality and Blu-ray quality on Vudu and stuff. What I used to do to test the movie, like if I wanted to buy it, there would be sellers selling it for like $1. So I'm like, oh, why not? Let me buy this thing for $1, and then see if I like the movie, and if I like it, then I'll get the physical copy of it. And sometimes, it worked out where, I didn't really like the movie too much, so I didn't have to go out and, I'm all for blind buys myself. If it's cheap enough, I'm like, it might not be physical media for life. No good over here for me, mate. But that's thanks for the offer. Yeah, like I said. But I know there's other people in here. Maybe you guys, there are 6 people watching. So if you're interested in a digital code, let me know. Don't be shy. It's fun talking Scott and Anthony here. But you guys can say something if you want to. But like I said, let me know. But what I can do then is since you guys aren't a a digital, I think I got some. So let me see. I haven't done this in a while either. Here goes one of my posters. But let's see. I got a bunch of movies here that I got doubles of. So let me see what you guys might enjoy, and I'll give away a physical copy of a movie. So let me see. I'll pick out 5. Okay, this one you guys might enjoy. Actually, let me put that there. Okay, that's more for children. Unless you guys want a child's movie. Let me see. We'll pick out 5 movies, and then I'll maybe 6. Some of these might be what do you want to call it? Region free. I'll have to check. But I think some of these are region free. So even if you have a UK player, actually, let me see this. And that one is region A locked. I'll put that back. I thought I had an Arrow video just to see, but let me see if these are all. Because I know there's some that are, region free. Most of the time I'm looking for, region A, but the only one is saying, okay, this one's all region. And the other ones really aren't saying much, so I don't know if they are. Um, they are, but we'll do a little. We'll do a little. Uh, Now, up to you guys. If you want to play a game, or you want to just do like a pull a random name out of a hat and stuff. Up to you. Make it fun or make it easy. Let me know, and then we'll go from there. I'll try to go through these and see which ones might be good for you. But let me know, fun or easy. Okay, we'll go fun. All right, that's one vote for fun. Mm-hmm. Okay, we got two for fun. Let me see. There's five people in here. Okay, Nick, fun. Okay, we got three for fun. So we'll give it till 110, and then I'll let you know what you guys are going to do for, and then I'll show you the prize and stuff like that. I think Anthony's played this before, but I do have a horror movie edition of Trivial Pursuit. So what we did, I think the first to three or something like that would win the game, and then you would get to choose, which movie you wanted, and then I'd send it out. Right now, there is there's more of a chance than anything because Triborough Gigolo, who is a longtime viewer who is pretty much in almost all my lives, so I don't know where he is. I hate him for it. No, but anyway, usually he's in here, and literally every single time he wins. So this, I think, will be the first time since I've been doing these games and stuff, that someone other than Triborough would win. So I'll give it a few more, seconds, because it looks like Nick, Anthony, and Scott are in. There's two other people here that haven't said anything. So I'll give you a couple minutes to enter or say you want in, and like I said, 110 we'll start talking about the movies, and we'll start talking about the prizes you can win. So there are people coming in here. So if you're interested and you want a chance to win, I didn't show off the movies yet, but I will. Like I said, you win. You get the first of three correct answers in Trivial Pursuit Horror Movie Edition. Will win a movie of their choice, and I will send it to them just in time for the holidays and stuff. So hopefully, it gets to you before Christmas or New Year's or anything like that. Like I said, Vinegar Syndrome sent me an email stating, "Oh, just be patient. You might take a month to get it. Can you autograph it? If you want my autograph, I will autograph it. Not going to be much of anything, and I got to practice an autograph. But if you want it autographed, I will autograph it. Not that you're going to get too much of anything, but it's either if you want Tony has 9 fingers, if you want Tony or whatever. But yeah, I'll autograph it for you. So we'll give it a couple more minutes because it looks like the only people that answered were Nick, Scott, and Anthony. And like I said, let me just know if you want in, and then I'll show you the. Let me see if I have another one so you guys at least have an extra. I'm looking for movies that you guys might not have. Because I know with collectors, a lot of times people have, stuff. So you got 15 seconds. So let me know if you want in a game to see, who could win a movie. You have 5 seconds or forever hold your peace. And more people are here. Well, that's what I said. People come in and out and don't talk. And I don't know why. I mean, I guess were entertaining enough where you could sit there and not say anything. But you know, anyway, it is past that time. So the three people that are playing are Nick, Anthony, or Andy, and Scott. So here are the couple movies that you could play for. One of them I know for sure. It says region locked. So this one might be like I said, the other ones don't have. Besides this one is the only one that has like a region locked one. So I'm not 100% sure if the other ones will play. But Dead Ant, this is the only one that says region A locked. So Scott, I don't know if this is going to work for you, but Scott, Dead Ant, Carrie, the original one with Sissy, what's her name? Sissy Spacek. So that's another one. Lights Out. These are all brand new. These are the ones I got from Horror Pack that I just gotten, a couple times that, just I already had. Two-Headed Shark Attack, a classic with Brooke Hogan and Carmen Electra and Charlie O'Connell. So this is an Asylum movie. Two-Headed Shark Attack. I can't even talk. And the last one, this one actually says region, all regions. It's Dead Dicks, put out by Artsploitation Films. A very interesting one about killing yourself and you get revitalized. It's not the word I'm looking for. Like the person comes back over and over and over again after killing themselves over and over and over again. Very interesting one from Artsploitation Films. I think you guys should definitely check it out. This one says from Raven Banner. I got mine from Artsploitation Films. So Dead Dicks. So those are the couple. Like I said, I tried to find some. Dead Dicks is one that I don't think most people know about, and maybe Dead Ant. But Carrie, Two-Headed Shark Attack. I'm sure some people seen Lights Out and Carrie. So right now, the three people that are playing, because the only three people that answered are Nick, Anthony, and Scott. So what I'll do is those, I guess, will be the order that I put it in. Just give me one piece of paper, and of course, I don't have. It's three people. I should be able to do simple math in my head. So that's the way we'll go. It'll be Nick first, then it'll be Anthony, and then it'll be Scott, and we'll do like I said, first to three to get it right. And right now the dice is stuck in here. So for those of you who don't know Trivial Pursuit, all these different categories. If I can get this thing out. There it is. I got it. Yay. But there's different categories, which are, let me get the playing card. Where the hell are the different, very professional here, let me tell you guys. But I got one of the things that tell me what the categories are. Okay, here. And then we'll, like I said, we'll roll the dice. You get the question that corresponds with whatever color goes, and we'll go from there. So I went in reverse chronological order. So Nick B, you were first. The purple one here. Purple is monsters. The green here is gore and disgusting, or gore and disturbing. The purple or pink is psychological. The orange here is paranormal. The yellow is killer, and the green is international. So what I'll do is I'll take this, I'll roll it, and then I'll ask the question. You'll have, I'd say, what do you guys want? 30 seconds, a minute, because I don't want you guys cheating and going on Google and stuff like that. So maybe 30 seconds. I'll time. What do you guys think is reasonable for a question or an answer, what time, let me know, and we'll go with the more, you know, the time that everybody thinks is reasonable for an answer. Like I said, 15 seconds, 30 seconds. I was going to say a minute, but I think a minute is. All right, so 30 seconds. You'll have 30 seconds to answer the question once I read it, and then I'll time it from there. You get the question right, you get a point. First person to 3 points will win, and then you get to choose your film. So we'll make it fun. I haven't done this in a while, so you guys have been with me for an hour, so we'll make this fun. So Nick, you're first. Like I said, reverse chronological order. So I'll roll this here on my bed over here, and yours is orange. An orange piece of the pie is paranormal. So I'm going to pull out one of these cards, and we will ask the question, and then you'll have 30 seconds to answer. So the paranormal one, oh, look at that. In Carrie, the blood of what animal is poured onto the titular character on prom night? So again, in the movie Carrie, right here, the blood of what animal is poured onto our titular character on prom night? I thought so. So you will have 30 seconds to answer that question. I should have looked before. This is for Nick. So only Nick will be answering at this point in time. Like I said, we'll go in reverse chronological order. Everyone will get a question, a chance to answer. And then if you get your question right, and the first 1 to 3 will be, there. So Nick, you're up, and we'll go. You're good. You'll have your time. You'll have your chance. So Nick, you have 3, 2, 1. Your answer, sir. I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, if this was your question, Scott, you would have been right. It was a pig. Nick, I apologize. You forfeited your turn. You forfeited your answer. Nothing you said was correct in any way, and everybody that listened to you is now stupid. That's not the correct quote, but Billy Madison, I'm sure you guys get what I was going for. So anyway, Anthony, it's your turn now. So after I read the question, you will have 30 seconds to answer, and we will go and we will roll the dice, and you get a pink. I'm guessing this is pink. So remember, pink is psychological. So we'll go here. Same one. In what 1978 film did Anthony Hopkins portray a ventriloquist slowly losing his sanity? So again, in what 1978 film did Anthony Hopkins portray a ventriloquist slowly losing his sanity? Never saw that one before, but maybe you win that question because it is magic. I've never seen magic, to tell you the truth. So you have 1 point. You are on the board. So Anthony is up by one. And Scott, you are now up. So hopefully you get a question that, you get the right answer to as well, because you did answer Nick's question. But unfortunately, Nick didn't want to play the game, even though he wanted to have fun. And he said 30 seconds is fine. So anyway, you are up, Scott. And your is also a pink pie, so I'm going to have to go to another card here. All right, so your question is, what director writer team made both Misery and The Princess Bride? So it's two people that I guess you have to. Yes, okay. So you have to name both of them, but what writer, director, team? Up to the contestants. Unfortunately, no. It is Rob Reiner and William Goldman. They were the two writer-directors of Misery and The Princess Bride. So that one was not it. But let me know if you guys want, if Josh could join. Like I said, if you guys want, it's up to you two. Is that sorry for getting the question wrong, or sorry you didn't want to include Josh? So, like I said, up to you. So yes to Josh, and I guess sorry for getting the question wrong. Don't apologize to me. Actually, what's his name? Nick should apologize to you for not answering the question. So, Josh, you were actually in because the other two said yes. So, if you missed it, we're playing Horror Movie Trivial Pursuit for a movie of your choice. I got a few movies here that I will be giving. What I put the other one, because I had. Oh, there it is. So anyway. You guys are playing for one of these 5 movies. Carrie. These are all from Horror Pack that I already owned. Dead Dicks, which is an artsploitation film. Dead Ant, which is a creature feature. Two-Headed Shark Attack, which kind of speaks for itself. And then Lights Out. So first person to 3 correct answers will win. So right now, Anthony is in the lead with 1 question. The categories, I'll read them again for you, Josh, so you know. Purple is monsters. The blue here is gore and disturbing. I said green before, but it's actually blue. Pink is psychological. Orange is paranormal. Yellow is killer. And then green is international. So I'll roll the little dice. I'll read the question, and you'll have 30 seconds to answer. And then whoever is the first to 3 correct answers will win. So right now, Anthony is in the lead. And we'll just reverse the order. Josh will be number 3. So anyway, you're up, Josh. You'll have 30 seconds after I read the question, and we'll go from here. So anyway... yours is a green pie or green thing. So here we go. It is international. And who directed the 2001 movie Suicide Club? So again, who directed the movie Suicide Club, which was released in 2001? You have 30 seconds from now. So you have until 1:25:40 on my end. Okay. Don't know. Well, you have 10 seconds to throw out a random guess. So, doesn't hurt to even throw a name out. So, throw out anything, and then we'll tell you if it's right. Yeah, some of these are like toss ups, like softballs, and then other ones I'm like, I've never even heard of the movie. This guy, I'm guessing it's a guy. I've never heard of him, but uh, we'll give you 5 seconds. Stephen King. Sorry, it is Sion Sono. Sion Sono. Sionsono. So it sounds like it's a. I'm guessing it's a, know, mid, maybe Chinese, Japanese kind of one from over there, almost like a battle royal, something like that. For those of you who haven't seen those movies, like gorier than a Hunger Games kind of deal. So anyway, Anthony, you are up, and you are up by 1 point right now. So your color would be, yours is also green, so that is international. So good luck with that one, because those seem to be the hardest ones, especially if you've never, heard of the person before. Um, so who directed? This is for Anthony right now. Who directed "Let the Right One In" 2008? So who directed "Let the Right One In" 2008? I believe that's the remake to "Let the what do you call it? So "Let the Right One In," and then the one with Chloe Grace Moretz. Asian is what I meant. Yes, correct. Um, but who directed "Let the Right One In"? You have 20 seconds going to Anthony. "Let the Right One In" 2008. Who directed that? 5 seconds. I can't guess. So the correct answer, like I said, I think this is the international one is the hardest one. It was Thomas Alfredson. Thomas Alfredson was the one who directed "Let the Right One In." So yeah, again, those directors, international directors, a little bit harder than anything else. So Scott, you were up, and your question will be in the category of looks like blood and gore, or gore and disturbing. It's the blue color. So we'll go off this card right here. Um, okay. What is the name of the character that has no control over her titular trait in Teeth? So pretty much the main character in the movie Teeth from 2007. What is the character? What is the character's name in the movie Teeth? If you haven't seen Teeth, it's a very interesting one. So you have 30 seconds from now. So like 29:45. Don't know how both collections. I have both versions in the collection too. One's a magnet title, and one's uh, some other company. But the name of the character in Teeth who. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Know the film? I will go with Karen, and uh, her name was Dawn O'Keefe. Dawn O'Keefe was her name. But for those of you who haven't seen Teeth, that is a trip of a movie. It is where a girl has some teeth in her hoo-ha, and let's just say she uses them during sex. So yeah, Teeth. Now it is Josh's turn. So your color question is a pink one, and that I believe is psychological. Josh, you're up, and your psychological question will be, okay, from 1959 is the movie. What character is the owner of the haunted house in House on Haunted Hill? Ha. In case you were wondering, Hoo Ha is another, another name for your vagina. Vincent Price. The person is Watson Pritchard. So I'm guessing it's. I haven't seen the movie in forever, but I guess that's one of the characters in the film. So Watson Pritchard is the correct answer for that one. So Anthony, you were up. Looks like I am kind of freezing. Hopefully, it's not too bad on your side, but it looks like on my side, and I'm kind of not as bad anymore. But right now, Anthony is up, and your question will fall under the. Oh, look at that! Another international question. Good luck. So anyway, like I said, sometimes it's a softball and sometimes it's not. Okay. This is from 1932. What character in Vampire is assisting the titular? This game has said titular in like 4 of the 5 questions that I asked. What character in Vampire 1932 is assisting the titular creature? Okay, so it kind of gives you a specific like job of this person, I guess you want to call it. But what character in Vampire 1932 is assisting the titular creature? This is for Anthony right now. I didn't see the time I asked, so it'll be 33:30 is when I'll give you till. Actually, the correct answer is The Village Doctor. I've never heard of the movie, and it was The Village Doctor that helped the titular creature, which, like I said, every single person or creature or whatever is now titular. So, in case you were wondering, titular. Titular is the word of the day. So, if you want this and you made it this far into the video, besides the people who are the awesome contestants in this game, I want you to comment on the bottom of this titular. I'm going to use titular from now on, and every single video I do, I'll find a way to put titular in it. So anyway, it is Scott's turn, and I will spin the wheel or spin the die, and your color is yellow, and your question is a killer. So this one might be a little bit easier. Don't know that word. Titular. Yep, titular. So anyway, your question is killer, and protagonist Aaron in your next is of what nationality? So this is a multiple choice, so at least you get a little help. Protagonist Aaron in your next from 2013, good movie, is of what nationality? American, British, Australian, or Austrian? So you have 4 guesses: American, British, Australian, or Austrian. Aaron is of what descent or nationality? You have 30 seconds now to guess what nationality she is. Aaron. Scott, this is your question. American, British, Australian, and Austrian. You said Australian, and sir, you are correct. She is Australian. So right now we are tied 1-1 with Anthony and Scott, and Josh started late, so you have a chance to pick up a point. You're only 1 behind. And like I said, best to 3. So Josh, you are up right now, and you have a purple or a pink piece of the pie. So your question is, the 2013 film Stoker, what Korean filmmaker directed it? The movie Stoker. What chameleon? What Korean filmmaker directed Stoker 2013, the movie Stoker 2013? You have 30 seconds from now. I don't know that person. So, what Korean filmmaker directed Stoker 2013? Yeah, I said so too. So the correct answer. Does anybody know it? Because I don't know this person. But anyway, the correct answer would be Park Chan Wook. Park Chan Wook. So, yeah, some of these like directors and stuff like that, I wouldn't know. So we should just limit it to killers and gore and stuff like that. But right now, Anthony, you are up. So let's see. Yours is orange, so I get to use the same exact card. Okay. In Crimson Peak from 2015, which author does the protagonist Edith Cushing say she would prefer to emulate? So you got two. It's a multiple choice. You have a guess between two. So again, in Crimson Peak 2015, which author does protagonist Edith Cushing say she would prefer to emulate? Jane Austen or Mary Shelley? Titular. Which titular character? No, which author would Edith Cushing say she wants to emulate? 30 seconds. Jane Austen, Mary Shelley. I will give you 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See, I don't know if my video is on a, time. What the hell am I looking for? I was about to say time lapse, but I don't think that's the word I'm looking for. But I don't know if his connection. So you said Mary Shelley, and you are correct. So like I said, I don't know if my video's a little time lapsey, but Mary Shelley is the correct answer. So Anthony, you do get the point. So right now, Scott Miller, you are up, sir, and your question will be a blue one. Did I ask the blue one on here? No, I did not. So I get to use the same card again. So this is also a multiple choice question. So what was the budget of the movie Green Room in 2015? So it gives you 3 different dollar amounts. So the budget of the Green Room 2015, was it $20 million, $10 million, or $5 million? So again, the budget of the Green Room in 2015, $20 million, $10 million, $5 million. What was the budget of that film? You have 30 seconds from now, unless you don't answer, because I know you're playing. I'll give you a little extra time. This is for Scott. You say $5 million, and you are correct. It is a budget of $5 million. So right now it is tied 2-2. Anthony and Scott, and Josh, you're getting some of the hardest questions I have asked. So hopefully you get a multiple choice question like these two gentlemen got. And hopefully for me, I can answer it too with a multiple choice question. So right now, tied, Scott and Anthony. Josh, you are up, and your color is blue. So it might be a little bit easier of a question, hopefully. So your question is, okay, this one is a pretty easy question. So in the movie Hatchet from 2016, directed by Adam Green, it doesn't say that, but in the movie Hatchet, what is the name of the deformed killer? So in the movie Hatchet, what is the killer's name? If you've seen any Adam Green film, well, not any, but his four Hatchet films, well, three Hatchet films and a self-titled film. Froze there for a second, so hopefully I'm back up. Victor Crowley is the correct answer. So you got a point. A little bit easier of a, like I said, some are toss ups, some are, and then we'll go from there. If you get it right and he gets it wrong, you'll win. And then if he gets it right, we'll just keep on going. So 1, 2, 2. Anthony, you were up, and your question will be, okay, good luck. It's green. It's the international one. So good luck to you. And okay. In Eyes Without a Face from 1960, what is the name of the mad Parisian plastic surgeon that is performing or perpetrating horrors? Okay, let me reread that because it was hard enough to read, so it's going to be tough enough for you to answer. But in Eyes Without a Face from 1960, what is the name of the mad Parisian plastic surgeon that is perpetrating horrors? Titular. Yeah. Good luck. You have 30 seconds from now to answer the question. I'll read it again. The Eyes Without a Face from 1960. What is the name of the mad Parisian plastic surgeon that is perpetrating horrors? He actually has a name, and his name is Dr. Genesi, Dr. Genessier. Gene Sear. Gene Sear. So, no to that one. Like I said, some you get a layup, and some you get Dr. Genesier with the titular character. So, Scott, you have a chance to, take the crown and take one of the movies if you get the next question right. And your color is pink. So that one would be Psychological. And this one is In the Village from 2014, who is M. Night Shyamalan's movie. Edward Walker, played by William Hurt, is the father and protagonist, the father of protagonist Ivy Elizabeth Walker, played by which actress? So in the movie The Village from 2004, Edward Walker, played by William Hurt, is the father of protagonist Ivy Elizabeth Walker, played by what actress? So who played Ivy Elizabeth Walker in the movie The Village? So you have 30 seconds from now to answer that question. don't know. Anybody want to take a guess? Because she is actually in. I don't want to say I like the movies. They were kind of disappointing. But well, the person would be Bryce Dallas Howard, who's actually in the what do you want to call it? Jurassic World. Dallas Howard. Yep, Bryce Dallas Howard. She was in the Jurassic Park films, the new ones, Jurassic World. Kind of cute, actually. But right now, Josh is up. You are now trying to tie the rest of the tie the rest of the two. So let's see. Good luck. Your color is green, and we all know how good these green questions have been. All right. Well, look at that. Going back to the same question before, in the movie Eyes Without a Face from 1960, what is the term for the procedure involving transferring living tissue from one person to another? I guess that's really, unless it's just a different, unless that's a different word that they used in the movie, then I don't know. But in the movie Eyes Without a Face from 1960, what is the term of the procedure involving transferring living tissue from one person to another? Body switching is incorrect. The correct answer is heterografting. So heterografting, titulating was a harvesting. Nope, heterografting, aka titular character. So anyway, Anthony is up. So you have a chance to answer it right. If you answer it right and Scott answers it wrong, you win the game. If not, we go on and so forth. If Scott answers, and we keep on going. So anyway, your question is orange, and that is psychological. We haven't had that. It's either international or that other one, international. So anyway, who or what actor portrayed both Lucas and Jeffrey in the movie Mama from 2013? So what actor portrayed both Lucas and Jeffrey in Mama? Good luck, because I've never heard of this person. You have 30 seconds to answer this question. What actor portrayed both Lucas and Jeffrey in Mama? I've never heard of this person before in my life. Anybody want to take a crack at it? Because nope. The correct answer is Nikolaj Coster-Waldau. Of course, Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, my favorite actor of them all. I should have known Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, of course. So anyway, Scott, you are up, and your question is in the blue category, which is gore and disturbing. So this is from what horror legend played Samson Dunstan in the opening scene of Hatchet from 2016? Movie Hatchet. What horror legend played Samson Dunstan in the opening scene of Hatchet? I will give you 30 seconds to answer the question. so you don't know who plays it. But does anybody? I know Josh answered the Victor Crowley question, so maybe he knows the answer to the horror movie legend that plays Samson Dunstan in the beginning of Hatchet, because they actually have two. Tony Todd is not it. He is the, let's just say both of these characters were in Freddy versus Jason. Oh, well. Anyway, the correct answer is Robert Englund. So you get Kane Hodder, and actually Kane Hodder was not in Freddy versus Jason. But have a chance to tie, and then if you get that right, it goes, a three-way tie until someone gets it right and wrong. So your question is blue, and I have to get another card. So Josh, this is for you. In the movie Trick or Treat, what is the name of the childlike character that appears in all the segments? So again, in the movie Trick or Treat from 2007, the anthology film, what is the name of the childlike character that appears in all the segments? You have 30 seconds to answer. Sam is correct. So blue looks like the color for you. Hopefully your favorite color is blue. So anyway, Anthony has the question now. So again, you're all tied. So the next person to get it right and the other one's wrong, because I'll give the other ones a chance to answer their question, and if they don't get it, then so on and so forth. But you all get a chance to answer the questions right. So anyway, your color right now, Anthony, is the pink one. So everybody either hope for the blue one or the pink one or something like that, because they seem to be a little easier. So here we go. What is the name of the rare medical disorder Raymond Andrew Joubert has in Gerald's Game from 2017? So again, the name of the rare medical disorder Raymond Andrew Joubert has in Gerald's Game from 2017. I thought so. So in the movie Gerald's Game, Raymond Andrew Joubert, one of the characters, has a rare medical disorder. Medical disorder, what is that disorder called? Sorry, that is not it, but the correct answer is acromegaly. So pretty much it's one where, all your bones and stuff grow to a big, bigger size and stuff. But acromegaly is the correct answer. So Scott, your question is now, and your question is orange. So this is also on this card. I could use this. What antique is responsible for the sinister happenings in the movie Oculus? So in the movie Oculus, what antique is responsible for the whole thing? So the WWE horror movie Oculus, what is the antique? Mirror is correct. So you right now have 3. So we will continue. I'll ask Josh the question, and then I'll ask Anthony the question, and then if the next person to get it wrong is kind of eliminated, and then we'll go on and so forth. So right now, you have 3, so you don't have to worry about it. So let's see. So Josh, you're up. So if you get it right, you're still in the game. If you get it wrong, you were eliminated. So your question is orange. So I'm going to pull out a different one, and orange is paranormal. So in the movie The Innkeepers from 2011, What is the name of the haunted hotel? So in Innkeepers, what is the name of the haunted hotel in the movie The Innkeepers from 2011? The correct answer, if anybody, it's the Yankee Peddler Inn. So Yankee Peddler Inn is the correct answer. So unfortunately, Josh, you were eliminated. So we'll give Anthony a chance. If you get this right, you continue. If not, the winner is Scott Miller from the UK. So we'll go and we'll do that. Your question is purple. So your purple question is Monster. So your question is, who directed 28 Days Later in 2002? Who was the director? This is for Anthony, the director of 28 Days Later, 2002. You have 30 seconds, Anthony, to answer the question. If you get it wrong, Scott is our winner for today. The correct answer is Danny Boyle. So Danny Boyle is the correct answer. And unfortunately, you got it wrong. So Anthony, you're eliminated. And our winner today is Scott Miller joining us. Hey, he's up at 2 o'clock now in the morning. So you won a free movie at 2 o'clock in the morning. So like I said, the only one right now that says it's region free is Dead Dicks. So if you want that one, or you have Lights Out, or you have Carrie, or you have Dead Ant. This one actually says A, so this one might not be for you because I don't think it'll work. The other ones, like I said, besides Dead Dicks, they don't really specify, and then Two-Headed Shark Attack. So up to you which one you want. And I know Anthony doesn't use them, but Josh, I don't know if you use digital codes. I got a few if you want a digital code for participating. Let me know if you use them, if you want one. We'll go from there. But let me know which movie can I have Carrie and your autograph. Sure, I'll autograph it and I'll send Carrie out. Just let me know. I don't know if you have Instagram or anything like that to send me your address. If you have Instagram, that's probably the best way to reach me. If not, I'll send you my email and I'll get your address and I'll send it out to you. But did you want a digital code, Anthony? Let me know and I'll give you one as well for participation. It's almost the same thing, but I know you said you really don't use them, but I would, I'll send you one. So you don't use, okay. Thought I'd offer, but thank you all for, a fun game of horror movie Trivial Pursuit. Like I said, some questions are, nice and easy toss-ups, and then the other ones are international Hong Kong who can Tony's Movies. So all you got to do, look up Tony's Movies, and you will find a picture of. I think it's just a picture of my. So, like I said, the original Carrie, Sissy Spacek, John Travolta, Brad De Palma film. So, well, thank you for joining, Josh. Like I said, anybody that comes and just watches, my content might not be the greatest, but it's a fun time. And like I said, most of the time I do this. For those of you who have been checking it out and haven't checked out my channel, I pretty much do. Most of the time it's horror movie reviews, but reviews nonetheless of movies, that don't get the limelight. I'll do reviews mostly, unboxings for my collection and stuff. So whenever I go live, it's pretty much movie talk all the time. Tony's movies, I'll just type it in here. Come on. Just like that. But like I said, it should be just a picture of, a bunch of movies. But yeah, that's that. So if you have Instagram and you haven't added me, go ahead. Tony's Movies on that. Like I said, my YouTube page is pretty much movie reviews, talking movies, anything movie related. You'll see me on that. I should mention every Tuesday night, if you're bored and you're looking for something to watch, you could check out our live podcast, The Wicked Horror Show, posted on The Dorkening, which is on YouTube, or the Dorkening Podcast Network on Facebook, or The Dorkening on Facebook, where we talk to indie horror film directors, actors, actresses, so on and so forth. Next Tuesday will be on Hannah Fierman. She played in the movie VHS. She played in the movie Siren. The one, if you've seen VHS, the one where she's like, I like you or whatever, and then she becomes that monster. And then they made a movie off of that called Siren. She's been in a few other films, but most notably, she's been in that. But we're having her on. Like I said, recently we had David Snyder on for the movie The Special. He was in a Scary Movie where he played Doofy, Officer Doofy. This was fun. Gotta charge my phone. Stay safe. Hey, thank you for joining, Anthony. Thank you for joining the game. It's always fun to have you on. You're one of the constants that continue to talk movies with me and continue to get these videos, to keep on going. So I thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the game, and good luck to you next time. But yeah, like I said, for those of you who are still watching, it's been 2 hours live. For those of you, like I said, who continue to watch, who continue to support, who, will sub to my channel. I mean, it's growing ever so slightly, nothing too big, but, it's grown. I appreciate it. Like I said, most of the time I'm out here, I'm just doing it to, promote movies. We're all, most of the people that stay and watch are all movie fans. So, we're all looking for new stuff to watch, new stuff to enjoy. So that's what I try to bring to everyone. New titles, new stuff that doesn't get the limelight, doesn't get the promotion, stuff that I hear through the grapevine, or I find or I see from other creators. I think I'm sent my address to your Instagram. Let me check for you. I did get it. So what I'll do is, I am off tomorrow. So what I'll do is I'll sign it, and then I will send it to you. I don't know how long it takes to go overseas, but at some point in time, hopefully with this whole COVID stuff, it gets to you and nothing is, too crazy. But hopefully everything works out. Like I said, you want my autograph, so I'll sign it for you. Again, it's not going to be worth any money anytime soon, ever, should I say. But, it's a fun time to have, people on here to talk movies. So, for some people, they'll sit here and watch whatever you want to do. But, I enjoy the more people talk and interact, it makes it that much easier to go and for me to have, stuff. So, Scott, like I said, I did get it. I'll write it down. I'll get everything. Um, Not for I know I was only kidding, but you know I will, like I said, um, do that tomorrow. And like I said, I don't know international, um, you know, time or whatever, but hopefully with all this craziness, it gets to you before the end of the year. But I'll keep you updated and stuff like that. Um, but people keep on coming in. So if you're interested, mention something, mention movies that you like, movies that you watch, or anything like that, because it's fun interacting. Some people at the end of this, I'll probably have a few dislikes and stuff. Um, but I guess it comes with the territory. Some people might not like what they're watching, so they're give me a thumbs down and stuff like that. But I do have four thumbs up, so I guess that counts for something. Uh, but you're watching videos, and some people get upset with dislikes to like ratio and stuff like that. The way I look at it is, if I get a thumbs up or a thumbs down, I at least got people to sit down and watch my stuff. And if they sit down and watch it for 2 seconds and then they give me a thumbs down, like I was saying before with critics, it kind of puts a damper, like, oh, I don't know why you have so much hate. I'm like, I don't see it, I guess, until the end of it. But I remember the one time I got like, I don't know, they take what they see on the internet to heart too much, because again, it's all, people can say whatever they want on the internet. I was always brought up, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all, kind of deal. But some people take advantage of it, and they'll leave mean comments and say whatever they want to, or they're having a bad day and they just want to come up and make someone else's day horrible or something. But yeah, it's one of those things where doing this videos and stuff, it's, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's my connection that's been going back and forth. Sometimes on my side I'll freeze, like in the middle of the game. That's why I gave everyone a little bit gave everyone a little bit more time, because my stuff was freezing on my end, so I could just imagine it freezing on your end. So well, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, Josh. Sorry, if you wanted digital code, I would have given you it. But thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. And joining the game. So yeah, cowards, like I said, right to do whatever they want. They have to do it, no. But who am I to stop them? But it's one of those things. Some people take it a little bit too much, and you got to realize that when you put certain things out there, you're gonna have your people are gonna hate just to hate. It seems like that's the thing to do. It just seems like I don't know if it makes them feel better about themselves or whatever. I'm guessing that's the thing. I've never really been one to sit down and conversate, which could be a little bit eye-opening, I guess you want to call it. But in high school or middle school, we all had our bullies and stuff like that. But I never, in the middle school, maybe a little bit more, I got offended. But as I got into high school, it's like, come up with something new, and then I might get offended for it. If you say something that I've never heard before, maybe at that point I'd be like, I'm offended. But most of the time it's the same stuff over and over and over again. And it's like, you gotta be a little bit more creative, get more up on the the times, I guess you want to call it. But don't mind me. I need a little drink of water. I'm parched. I am titulated, should I say. Don't even know. I got to look up the word, but like I said, if you made it this far into the video and you have some comments or whatever, just say titulated so I know. It takes a lot to get on here and do your thing, and people should try it before they well, a lot of the times people won't try, they think they could do better. I'm like, hey, if you think you could do better, a lot of people could probably do better than I. Again, my videos are, you know, I don't. I think it's more personable, I guess you want to call it, if you see me mess up, because unless it's like horribly a mess up, I'll just retape the video. But most of the time, I'll screw up on my words. I'll screw up on the, you know, speaking the uh, people's names that are in it or something like that. I'll mess up. You know, you'll watch my videos and you're like, oh, that's a mess up. That's a mess up. But I think it's a little bit more real at that point in time. Too many people nowadays, it's all edited. It's like, come on now, like, I just don't, I don't relate to it, I guess, is the maybe the best words I can say. But a little water again. I am parched. So yeah, it's going on 2 hours and 15 minutes. So for those of you, Scott's been here pretty much the whole time. Anthony was here. There are a couple other people in here, so don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to say anything, no matter what. But yeah, it's like I said, it's always fun coming on here and, you know, sitting here talking movies, as I say it, one person leaves. So there are 3 people here at this present time. So if you're here, forever hold your peace. And then it'll turn into 2. And then at that point in time, it'll only be Scott. And then he'll leave, because what time is it by you now? Probably, I think you started and it was 1 o'clock. So right now it's probably around 3 o'clock. So again, I give you credit for staying and watching my boringness. Because a lot of times I'll repeat what I say a lot just to, you know, sometimes it takes me a while to, you know, remember what I said, but it's all in fun, I guess. Like I said, 2 people now, but I guess it's late for some people. So what I'll do is I'll end it at I'll talk for 15 more minutes. We'll end it at 2.5 hours of a live show, unless of course at some point in time more people start showing up. Like I said, 3 o'clock. I give you a lot of credit for sitting here. What are your favorite horror? Like I said, Anthony said it before. He enjoys horror comedies. So do I. So, I mean, the one that got me back into horror was Tucker and Dale versus Evil. But I remember back in the day, it was like the 80s slashers, like the cheese fests, like Student Bodies, and what else was up there? The stuff we were talking about before. I mean, recent stuff, it's more Final Girls, The Final Girl, Greasy Strangler, like the weird ones, I guess you want to call it. See, those are the movies I remember for the longest, is ones that, is it true that I have 9 fingers? It technically is. I mean, 9 functional fingers. My 1 finger is kind of messed up. I messed it up in high school. Doesn't you know, straighten too much. So in high school, I got the nickname not Tony has 9 fingers, because I'm Italian, and it sounded like a Italian mob boss name. So then at that point in time, Tony 9 Fingers now is, you know, it was Tony has 9 fingers now. But yeah, that's what I got. It's there, but it's not as functional. It doesn't straighten, so it's not as functional as the other one. Okay, well, that is pretty badass mafia name. Yeah, like I said, I mean, that's the thing that helped me. I'm Italian and Spanish, so at that point in time, you know, it was like Tony 9 Fingers kind of deal, and then kind of has that mobbish name to it. It's like, don't mess with me. But that's where the nickname came from. So I've had people, like I said, I do the podcast, little plug for it, Wicked Horror Show, every Tuesday night. If you're into horror movies, check us out. We do it live, and then if you wait a week, if you're more into audio podcasts, you can listen to us then. But we'll have a bunch of people on, different, you know, actors, actresses, and stuff. And a lot of the times they're like, "Do you really have 9 fingers?" And I'm like, "I got to tell the story." But it's not. I dropped weight on my finger in high school. I used to play football, and I was squatting in the squat rack that we had. I There was a mirror in front of us, so instead of falling forward, because I was starting to fall forward, and instead of cracking my face on the mirror, I put my hands down on a safety rack that we had. So if you fell, it would catch the weight. But when I was falling forward, I put hands down, and when I fell forward, the bar with the weight on it, I was squatting like 300 pounds. It kind of ripped open my finger, and I had my tendon and whatever was ripped open and stuff. So, do you tell people it's your trigger finger? Know that. Actually, to tell you the truth, at that point, I didn't feel it. I was in shock because my tendency is if I hurt myself, I tend to like move my hands and stuff. So I went like this, and then I noticed I went like this, and there was just a hole in my finger. So at that point in time, I didn't feel it because I tore some stuff. So I was like, I looked down, and I'm like, oh, well, that's not supposed to look like that. And it wasn't bleeding at first, so it was just a hole. And then I'm like, and then I was only, 17 at the time. So I wasn't able to leave the school to go to the hospital until my mother picked me up. So I was in the training office, and right when she straightened my finger, that's when it started gushing blood, and she was wrapping it up, and it was bleeding through the gauze and whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, this kind of sucks. And that's when the pain started, like whatever shock I was in kind of wore off, and I was like, okay, well, this is screwed up. And at that point in time, the trainer had 2 young kids, so I'm sitting there trying to watch my mouth but swearing at the same time. So then they finally brought me to the hospital, and they didn't even look to see. They didn't do much of movement or whatever. So they just stitched it up, and then my finger was actually stuck like this, like straight like that, and then I wasn't able to straighten it. So I had to go to a finger specialist. I got a surgery. I got a pin in my finger, and then I was a wise ass in school, so. The one time they had me I'm righty, so the only thing I could do is draw pictures, and so I got credit for the class. And then I hit the pin, and the pin went in and got my finger infected. And then I have a hole in my arm over. Well, you can't see it, but there's a hole in my arm. I had to put a tube in my arm that pumped the medicine in, and then the medicine changed, so I had to actually bring it into school, and I thought I was doing drugs, and it was a whole ordeal. It was like a 7-month, 8-month thing for one finger. And worse off, I didn't get to play my senior year of high school football. I played freshman through junior year, and then I didn't get to play my senior year. So all that for a little finger, but I got a nice little story out of it. It was one of those things where now. I remember in the beginning, the whole thing, I wouldn't, tell people, someone asked me for directions, you got to go straight, all the way straight. Don't turn. So I would be pointing, and my finger would be pointing to the left. Make sure you go straight down the road. Don't go anywhere, and all that for some weights. Yeah, well, you're, especially in high school when you're trying to be the best lineman you can. It was always, especially squatting. Squatting was always our, go-to thing. Make sure you squat. Make sure your legs are strong, whatever. So I was trying to get starting lineman position, and like I said, at that point in time, it was 350. And I was squatting my first set, first reps, I guess you want to call it. And instead of cracking my face on the mirror, I put my hands down, and I beat a man so hard I broke his finger in my skull. Tony has 9 finger. Hey, listen, I can make up anything, and then of course you get the assholes back then. Oh, well, it's because you suck your finger. Yeah, whatever. But it was, all these different stories. You can, maybe I'll say like 5 or 6. One of those. Here, I'll mention 5 stories. You tell me which is the correct one and stuff like that. Well, I apologize. what is the story behind that, if you don't mind? But to tell you the truth, with my unless you like notice it, like some people don't, because I can still, I got most function in it. It's just it doesn't straighten and stuff. So with that, they don't notice as much. Don't mind me. I'm getting another sip of water. Um, I got movies all over my bed. Well, thank you for serving. I mean, you served your country, but any service member is always appreciated around here. So, thank you for your service, and it's sad that some people do. And being Italian, I move my hands a lot when I if you notice in my videos or whatever, I move my hands a lot. So unless I'm sitting there pointing at you, like sometimes I'll stop and I'll be pointing and. Oh well, I didn't expect you to, but like I said, anytime you hear that, it's one of those, you know, what am I doing here? Put these back for maybe a future giveaway. But we now have 6 people in here. It seems to be going up, 5 people as I speak. Usually when I speak, people disappear. 6. Okay, we have 6 people in here. So, hopefully, everybody's around to talk. Like I said, I was going to end at 2:30 because it went down to 2 people, but people keep popping in here and there, so don't be shy. It's always fun to talk. In the beginning it was all movie talk, and now we went to my Tony has 9 fingers. Why, if I have 9 fingers, and like I said, as I talk, the more I talk, the more people disappear. I am that boring. I apologize. That's usually when the worst things happen is, wrong place at the wrong time but hopefully, everything's going well. Well, you said you can't sleep because of that, so, but hopefully my being here is helping you with that. Oh, trust me, I can get very boring. I can talk a lot, but sometimes it just. I just came in and popped news for the review of Spear of the Lycanthrope. So, in case anybody was wondering, Sphere of the Lycanthrope is actually, I've never watched that, never watched it before, but yeah, we have a huge fan of this movie called Sphere of the Lycanthrope. That is the best acted, the most perverse, the greatest storyline ever. Well, not only did I help you possibly with keeping you entertained, you will get a signed copy of Carrie. Don't ask me why you want my autograph, but you will get a signed copy of Carrie, the awesome psychological film. So yes, Fear of the Lycanthrope, guys. I've never watched it, so I couldn't give you a review. But Mr. Vicious 915, hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you don't miss our ShopRite that much. But yes, Fear of the Lycanthrope. Let me put this game away for those of you who are joining. Like I said, you pop in and out. Tonight we played Trivial Pursuit Horror Movie Edition. And Scott Millar won a signed copy, a Tony Has Nine Finger signed copy of Carrie. So, most awesome, man. Thank you. We'll tell my wife later. Just pretend. Be like, oh yeah, Tony Has Nine Fingers, the awesome, the most famous person you will ever see, ever. And then she'll look me up and be like, wow, you lied to me so much. This is horrible. What are you doing watching this guy at 4 o'clock? Probably almost 4 o'clock by you in the morning. All right, Dusty. We'll call you Dusty. So, like I said, if you're ever bored, I don't do this often. I should do it. I should do it more often. But if you're a movie fan, if you like talking movies and stuff like that, Anthony is a person that comes in all the time. Awesome viewer. Like I said, Triborough Gigolo. He is one that usually comes in, and he actually literally every single time we play a game, we did one of those like raffles where you would just say you're in, and then I'd put your name in a, not a hat. I would put it in like a random name picker in what do you want to call it on one of the sites, and somehow he literally always won that, like every single time. So you came on the right night because he wasn't here and he wasn't able to win. I think he won like 5 or 6 movies from me. I think, at least. I joke with him. I'm like, well, half your collection is from me, so you should just say thank you. No, but yeah, he wins all the time. So it's always fun to have. It's to get personal and know people more. I don't know when the notifications and stuff for anybody who's watching. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, so when I do upload more stuff or do go live. So I guess if you hit the bell button, you might have a better chance of seeing my lives. So I guess that's how it works. Not 100%, still not too savvy on this whole live stuff. Usually I just take the videos and put them on, but if it's you hit the bell button and then it tells you that I went live, that's probably the best way to do it. But I try to do it like once a month, but sometimes work gets in the way or get a little too busy. But I should try to do this more often. So my voice is getting a little hoarse because I'm not used to talking 2.5 hours straight, but I do it for you. I do it for everybody who sits here and watches this for 2.5 hours. So we'll give it, maybe another half an hour, possibly. Depends on how long we have. Well, thank you. So we'll see how long people are entertained, or not entertained, but people interact. Once it starts slowing down, I guess we'll call it a night here. But if you're in here, there are, like I said, 3 people here. So if you're in here, feel free to say something, anything. Besides Sphere of the Lycanthrope. No, but it's a joke. One of my coworkers knows, I do reviews and stuff, and he would always tell me these random weird movies. And Sphere of the Lycanthrope, I saw a trailer for it and I'm like, sometimes I'll watch some stinkers and sometimes I'll watch, hidden gems. But seeing this trailer, I usually don't go by trailers, but sometimes I will. Like if I see it and it catches my fancy, I'm like, okay, I'll check that one. But it's that one. I'm like, yeah, I don't even know. But I like Blood. The one thing I really got to do is go. I do have like the old, like Universal monster movie box set. I do have some Hammer films, but I actually have to go and sit down and watch it. I apologize. Former coworker. He used to work, and then he got too good and went to a different store of the same name, but he left us many moons ago. And yeah, a former coworker. I apologize, telling a false narrative. He's no longer a coworker now. He is a former coworker. So I misspoke. Yeah, like the Hammer horrors. Yeah, like I said, I got a bunch of them. It's just that I gotta like I started. I think the first horror movie that I watched was I think Killer Clowns from Outer Space. If not the first, it's up there for one that got me into the whole horror movie genre. Try telling people, oh, yeah, I watched a movie about killer clowns who put people in cotton candy and suck their like insides out with a straw, and then the only way to kill these clowns is to pop their nose. Try telling people that, and they look at you with like you have 10 heads. So at that point in time, it's like, yeah. But that's the one that got me into horror, and then like other ones was anything after that. A lot to be watched because, like I said, I would used to get new movies every Tuesday and get pretty much all the new like brand new titles that came out. And then my buddy 13 Wolfman, check him out on YouTube as well. He does a whole bunch of reviews and stuff. He told me, he's like, hey, listen, do what I do. Wait till Black Friday, and then you can just pick up all the movies that you would for $20, but get them for $4, $5, $6. So that's when I would wait. And then instead of getting it throughout the year, I'd go on Black Friday and get 20, 30, 40 titles. And then, I'd have a stack of movies to sit down and watch. And then me, myself, if I'm going to sleep, instead of putting in a new movie, I'll put in a movie I've seen 100 times. And so those 40 movies that I never sat down to watch turn into, 50, 60. So I probably have, if I had to sit down and count, it'd probably be, I'd say I'm in the hundreds of movies. Not hundreds, like probably like 100, around 100, if I had to guess, that I haven't sat down to watch, because then I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down and watch this, and then something else pops up. I'll sit down and watch Netflix or a documentary, or like I said, I'll go to sleep and watch a movie I've seen 100 times. So it's a big, when I sit down one day, I'll be like, okay, let me pull this one out. Like there's some that still have the plastic wrap. I'll have it. I always tend to put stuff in my collection in alphabetical order, so I know I have it. So I don't have to move. Like I move things early, so then sometimes I'll just take it and forget to take it out, and then forget to watch it. So there's a good amount. So let's just say I probably have more movies to watch than some people have movies. One of my hobbies besides film, I enjoy music. I'll listen to more metal music, but my buddies are in a band, so music is another thing I enjoy. Football, besides my football injury, the New York Giants, who are sucking this year, but football. What else? Kind of getting into reading now, just because there's not, with this whole COVID thing, there's not much to do. So I'll sit down and I'll read here and there. Never really got into it, but more, the Vikings are doing Dalvin Cook. I got him on my fantasy team, so he's well, it's freaking New York teams. I mean, the Giants and the Jets, if you combine our record, is 4-7, and Jets are 0-11. So 4-18 for the New York football teams. So a whole lot to look forward to and cheer for. But like I said, the only other thing I really do, literally, besides work, I'll come home, I'll watch a movie, I'll post it on my Instagram, and we'll go from there. So Instagram, I guess, is another hobby of mine. I guess if I'm using any other platform besides YouTube and stuff like that, it's Instagram, where I show off the movies I do have. Check out a band called Helling Very V. I'll have to at this point in time too. Any new band or anything like that is up for. Always looking for that. Negative. Oh, single. I thought it said, are you dating or married? Single as a Pringle. Always been. I guess that's another thing why I have all these movies too. Is I have no one to tell me to stop, and I don't have to spend my money on somebody else. So, until then, when I do find that special someone, it'll be we'll have many movie nights to go by. I think I have enough movies to probably last me, I'd say, a year and a half, give or take. So. So yeah, single. Like, always looking for my next future ex-wife. You didn't hear that? You see, I get punished. Make a little joke and choke to death. So anyway, I'll leave the joking aside, or at least not, Yep. Well, especially nowadays, I don't know how, again, because not many, mainstream movies are getting put out. So you're the only other alternative, which isn't a bad alternative. I'm not saying that, but you have your independent stuff. So I love movie nights without the wife. Are they that much better? Well, I'm sure movie nights with the wife is probably like lovey-dovey. Not gonna lie, like I said before, certain times call for certain movies. I guess you want to call it like genre style. I guess you want to call it, but you never, If I had to list my genres, it'd be horror movies, then it'd be like psychological thrillers, which fall under the horror category, but then it's like coming of age, almost like a Stand By Me kind of deal. But not gonna lie, every once in a while, if there's a lovey-dovey type movie, I'll sit down and watch it. Well, that's the thing. Now, I guess that's another thing about, I don't have to worry about what I have to watch because I'll just put in whatever I have to. When there's another, unless you find that person that's, a perfect match to you, then it'll probably be easy to sit down and be like, okay, well, we'll sit down and watch this movie together or this movie together or that movie together. But, as much as podcasts, I do one. I'm part of one. I don't do one myself. But as far as listening to the radio or anything like that, I don't. So podcasts, I don't sit there and listen to. But there's so many that I've been told to sit down and listen to. Like I'll watch like the Joe Rogan stuff on YouTube. Never really sat down to listen to it, but I'll watch like Broken Skull Ranch or something, the Stone Cold one. Like I'll watch. I used to be a huge wrestling fan, so. Like the listen to podcasts, no. But if you're interested, every Tuesday night on Facebook and on Instagram, if you go to the Dorkening, we do a podcast called The Wicked Horror Show, where we interview indie directors, actors, actresses, so on and so forth of movie like independent movies. We'll sit there and talk to them about for an hour and try to help promote whatever movie they have coming out or already out that they're on trying to promote and stuff. So we've had from some bigger guests like Kane Hodder and Felissa Rose. Who else? Michael Berryman we had on. Sid Haig came on for about a half an hour. So we've had some bigger names in the horror industry, but then Dee Wallace is another one that we've had on a few times. But then we've had up and comers Destiny Orndorff and Tristan Clay. They did the movie Red Eye, and they did I can't even think of their upcoming movie. But we have people up and comers or brand new actors and actresses or directors. So we pretty much have anybody that's trying to promote something. So if you're looking for something to watch or listen to on a Tuesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, check out The Dorkening on YouTube and on Facebook. That's where we do it live, so you can comment and join in and have like interactions. But if you're more into audio podcasts, just look on any platform that has podcasts, and you should find them. I've reached out for that never got back. Some of the times people are like, "Oh, how do you get your guests?" And it's like either Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. I don't use Twitter as much, but like I've reached out to some people that I would love to get on that I haven't. Adam Green is one that is always busy, so it's hard. Some of them are always busy. So the Saska sisters, I attempted to get in contact with them, and they never. Again, I don't take it personal because a lot of these people, their livelihood is doing movies and stuff. So if they don't have time, they don't have time. But I guess those two would be like the two that I wanted to have on the most. But we've had other people. David Howard Thornton from Terrifier. If you've seen Terrifier, Art the Clown, we had him on a couple times actually. David Maffei, who was in the Strangers, Pray at Night. He was in the movie Haunt. He was in a whole bunch of stuff. We had him on a few times. So we've had some people on for a majority of the time, and we've talked to plenty of people that I enjoy. Andre Gower, I was talking before about if you've seen the Monster Squad. He played Sean in the Monster Squad. We had him on talking about that, which was one of my favorite movies growing up. So we had him on. And a lot of them. If you've done something like that, I would love to interview Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund. Yeah, that's another one that it's. I mean, now maybe not because he really isn't acting that much. He does a lot of conventions. If you've ever been to like a horror movie convention, you've probably seen him. Have you had David Stay, writer, director, and star of the award-winning film Sphere the Lycanthrope? No, he is on my list of people to get for the awesome award-winning film Sphere the Lycanthrope. We have not had him on yet, but I'm busy. I'm sure he's busy making some award-winning films, but unfortunately, no, we haven't had him on. But like I said, from some of the more recognizable names in horror to some of the up and coming, it's just fun sitting, film or movies being, my go-to. It's always fun. People are like, "Oh, do you get paid to do it?" Just think of it. The way I put it is just think of the thing that you enjoy the most, whether it be movies, whether it be sports, whether it be music, whether it be whatever you enjoy the most, and you get to sit down and watch a movie, enjoy the movie, and then get to sit down with the people behind it, or you listen to a song and you really like it, or enjoy a certain team and you get to sit down and then talk to the people behind it. If you enjoy what you're doing, you don't have. Would it be nice? If you people wanted to sit down and pay us, I will gladly accept it. But the fact that we don't get paid for it doesn't matter to me. I enjoy it a whole lot. So it's one of those things where some people look at it and like, oh, I can't believe you don't get paid to do it. It's fun to sit down and, like I said, really enjoy a movie and then get to sit down and talk to the people behind it, find out how it's made. Like I was talking before with the B movies, never know what goes behind, closed doors kind of deal. It's one of those things where you have a certain budget and you have a certain timeline to do it. And sometimes, especially without these big budget movies, you have a week to tape something, and then wherever you go, something happens, the weather acts up, and instead of having a week to tape it, you have 3 days to tape it. And it's one of those things where us viewers would have no idea. And then, they put out what they can. And then sometimes it works out in their favor and it's really good for what happens. But sometimes it's, they have to make do with what they had because, a lot of these filmmakers, especially these, independent people, they're, they have a full-time job somewhere else and they do, filming on the weekends. So it's one of those things where it's like, you got to give, especially anybody that makes a film, they made one more film than I did. If they've done 100 films, they made 100 more films than I did. So it's not, for me to say, a movie is horrible. Again, only joking. I haven't seen Sphere of the Lycanthropes, but, like I said, I'll sit down eventually. I'll find it, and then, I'll sit down and watch it. I think one of the reasons I still haven't got it, we talked about this before, I don't really collect DVDs anymore. So if I was to get it, if it was on Blu-ray, I'll pick it up. But I think it's only, if the last time I checked, I think it was only on DVD. So I don't collect DVDs as much. But, like I was saying, with certain movies, you watch it. And when I was younger, I'd be like, this movie sucks. But I'd have no, I have no clue. Like we had a couple people on, what was it? The Night of Something. I can't. I don't remember the exact title of the movie, but it's pretty much a movie that should have come out in the 80s. It was filmed in the 80s, but due to budgetary reasons and all this stuff, the movie actually came out 2018. So a movie like it legit like 80s film. Like you watch this and it's taped like an 80s film. Didn't see the limelight, didn't see the light of day until 30 years later. So it's one of those deals where, there's other movies that, been taping for or been taped, but haven't had, a chance, haven't had a company to put them out. So you have, people who have films 3 years in the making that finally come out, especially, independent film. That's one downfall because like you'll see a trailer for a movie or, we've had people on talk about their movie. We get screeners, so we're able to see it. But it's like, oh, when's the physical media coming out? And it's like, oh, we don't know. We don't know if we're going to get a physical release. Some movies just go to, film festivals and they never see the light of day. So it's tough. But, a lot of the times with independent film, I've noticed a lot of the times the reason I keep watching it is because you're getting stuff you normally wouldn't see with, every day or bigger budget films. You're getting plot lines that are so off the wall, like I was saying before, Greasy Strangler or Rubber or Teeth, one of the questions that came up before. These independent movies, you got some, some are very weird. What's another one? A Bunny Thing, where this guy gets, I guess it's, where's it from? Let me look up. This one is from. Actually, it doesn't tell me it, but Finland. So this movie right here, Bunny a Killer Thing. It's a bunch of doctors. They inject this guy with a serum, and he ends up turning into a rabbit. And if you know the saying with rabbits, it's humps like rabbits. So pretty much what happens is this now newly formed rabbit type creature goes around and kills people by having uh, you know actually Anthony was here before. Seems like new people have come in and joined. Um, but if you're enjoying yourself, give me a nice little thumbs up either on there or thumbs up in the comments, because like I said, the only thing that keeps me going is you know conversation, because sometimes I'll have a couple people in here and no one says a word. I can talk for hours, but sometimes I nice game of horror movie Trivial Pursuit, where Mr. Scott Millar won carrying. So he will be receiving this in the mail with my good old John Hancock written on it. So, every once in a while, I don't do, lives that often, but, when I do, I try to make them fun and entertaining and, what do you want to call it? Interactive is what I was trying to say. Interactive with everybody that sits down and enjoys my company or joins me or whatever have you. So it looks like people are leaving. So I think I will call this at 3 hours. So we got 3 more minutes, and then I will call it, because I guess I'm not satisfying enough. Plus, like I said, it's been 3 hours and my throat is kind of scratchy. So I appreciate everyone who came in, joined for the 3 hours I was on. Hopefully, if you haven't already, you can hit that subscribe button. Also, if you enjoyed this, hit the thumbs up button. Remember, if you joined and you enjoyed it, be sure to use the word titular. That's what I'm going for. I will use the word titular on every video from now on, because for some reason every other question in the horror movie Trivia Pursuit had the word titular in it. So the word of the day is titular. I will say titular again, but comment titular if you've joined this chat or anything at any given point. But like I said, check out my YouTube channel, Tony Has Nine Fingers, for reviews. Check out my Instagram, Tony's Movies, where I show off the movies behind me. Check out The Wicked Horror Show every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where we talk to independent directors, actors, actresses, whatever have you. Wicked Horror Show, check us out. And then if you're more of the audio podcast listener, check Wicked Horror Show on pretty much any streaming service, but it's probably under the Dorkening Podcast Network. So check us out there. And yeah. Like I said, if you enjoy movies, you'll probably enjoy that. I can't guarantee it, but I think you'll enjoy it. But like I said, if you're into podcasts, if you can't make it the night of the live, you can just listen to it through wherever podcasts are streamed. So like I said, thank you everyone for joining. Try to do this more often, and like I said, I don't know when I get time. I did this because I was on vacation, but once I start work, by the time I get home, I'm tired and stuff. But I'm going to try to do this more often. And yeah, I guess until next time, thank you everyone for joining. And Scott, like I said, I'll I'll get it stuff in the mail tomorrow, and then whenever it gets there, I guess it gets there. But everyone have a good night, and until next time, I'll see you.